they got the knowledge you crave. Hard hit, insight gonna make you win. Listen up, closely let the games begin. Top pick sleepers every week I spin. The FF universe here to help you win. The fantasy football universe.
What is up? Welcome into the FU times 2. That's the double FU, the fantasy football universe. What is up? I'm Jeremy. This is Jesse. Today we are talking rest of season schedules. Jesse, what's happening? How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm excited. We're getting right into it. I know a couple of people have trade deadlines coming up this week. If you don't, it's the next 2 weeks, right? So we're getting our last chances to buy players. So why not talk about guys we are excited about and the guys that we can go get to help you win that championship? Because that's what this is all about and why we do the content that we do.
100%. It is time to win or rebuild, depending on where you are in your season. But we're going to give you guys to help you win today. Talk about the best case rest of season schedule for some of these studs. Should you go out and buy them? And potentially, what should you pay for those guys? After all, that's what's going to help you pay your bills and win the big bucks in fantasy football. Before we get into that, and Scott, thanks for joining us. We see your question in the chat. We'll get there in a second. We got a Discord. Come join us. Just go to our link tree on Twitter. You can find the link there. We answer questions that you have now right here, but we answer those questions, 24/7, 365. So you can join us there. And then, of course, if you haven't used Fast Draft, use Fast Draft, pay 25, get 25 on us. Promo code FFU. Jesse, real quick, thoughts on the Thursday night, whatever that was.
Yeah, that was really, really ugly. I will say there were some exciting things. The biggest thing was like Nico's letdown. It was supposed to be a smash matchup, right? He let us down, went from there. Sometimes that happens, but you saw how good the Texans defense is and what they can do to any quarterback. So, if you have Josh Allen or Lamar, I know you don't want to bench those guys. It's impossible too, but when you have these elite guys going against these really good defenses, you just have to bring them down a little bit. You're like, they're not QB1, they're QB8, maybe, something along those lines. But let's be real, you're not mentioning those guys. Just sucks.
Yeah. Not only Nico, but Woody Marks, recommending Woody Marks starts everywhere. I am feeling the pain of that recommendation across multiple leagues. Woody Marks was in a smash spot, just couldn't deliver. Mm-hmm. It was once again the Davis Mills show, which was weird. They won the game. I don't know what to do. Does CJ Stroud play again?
I mean, we hope. We hope. I saw in the Discord, it might not have been ours. Yeah, somebody was talking about, Davis Mills should play the rest of the year over CJ Stroud. And I was like, what is going on here? Yeah. We've lost our minds on this. But it was entertaining, you could say.
Crazy. It was heaven. Another Bills loss. Patriots, best record in the NFL, tied with the Broncos. There might be another team in there, but they're at least tied with the Broncos, 9-2. Gotta love it. Yeah. Jesse, appreciate you. Scott, appreciate you. Hope you're well. We hope you're well too, my man. With London out, Scott needs to start one in full PPR. He's got Wandale, Jacoby Myers, and Jerry Jeudy with a good schedule, but I can't in good conscience recommend Jerry Jeudy with Shador. Against the Ravens, I get it, but I can't. I'm probably going Wandale. What do you think?
Yeah, Wandale's the safest. Like, I don't actually mind if you want to go the Jaguars matchup. I prefer Parker Washington if we're going to play a Jaguar, to tell you the truth. Just because he plays a slot, it's easier, and that's a better matchup for slot wide receivers in that game. But yeah, I would say this is Wandale, Jacoby, then Jerry Jeudy. And then it's just pure desperation if you're dealing with Jerry Jeudy. Just hope and pray. Hope and pray we get that.
100%. And look, maybe it is, right? I don't know if it was Kevin Stefanski took over or Kevin Stefanski gave it up. Either way, play calling changed. Targets shifted to Jeudy. That happened for one game. Last week, he all but disappeared. And I know it's supposed to be a good matchup here. I'm not touching him. Kobe's going to take a while to integrate, although he did almost catch a touchdown in his first game. His second game, he's getting more and more. And BTJ out, so I understand it, but I'm playing Wandale. Mm-hmm. Got to go Wandale against the Lions here.
Yeah. Like it's outside wide receivers are just brutal against Arizona, and that's where Jacoby Myers is going to be. I literally don't want to play him, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, will I always get this wrong. It's not my guy, Will Campbell, Will Johnson, playing like a legit asset there. So let's start with this. We're going to go, well, maybe he was. Let's start with the quarterback position. We're going to give you buys from each of the positions here. And Jesse, we'll start with your guy. Who do you like? Who has the, given his cost, maybe given his performance and his schedule, who do you like the best here? As I add this little gem on Fantasy Pros to the stage. Give me the name. I'll type it in. We'll take a look. Who you got?
We're gonna bring up a guy that might not play, and I know that sounds like a really bad idea in theory, but like hear me out on Josh Jacobs. He has one of the best roles in fantasy football of all running backs. Minimal competition, and the schedule is really juicy for him moving forward. But if you look at like his expected points, like he's top 7, his role is there, fantasy points, everything is really good for Josh Jacobs. You just have to be comfortable dealing with this injury. So I would say if you need points 100% this week, maybe don't buy Josh Jacobs. Outside of that, and you're in the playoffs, like I think Josh Jacobs is a really good buy because people are nervous about him. They're worried about Emmanuel Wilson, but like if Josh Jacobs is healthy and playing, excuse me about that, he is going to play and get a lot of work because he's basically top 10 in targets, which goes under the radar. No one really talks about that. He's top 5 in carries in the NFL. So like you see the amount he gets in that offense, and he's second in the NFL in touchdowns. He's not Jonathan Taylor-esque touchdowns, but he's your second best option there. So I think Josh Jacobs is what we call like discount Jonathan Taylor, where everything is there similarly. It's just he's not giving you that boom that Taylor gives you. So I think Josh Jacobs is a much cheaper version of getting that. And the production most weeks is similar-ish where you can survive by doing that. So I think Josh Jacobs with his schedule moving forward seems like a really good buy. I like a lot of these players that are highlighted right here. If we talk about Devon Achane, Barkley, all these guys, right? They all have good things for them. I just think of the guys that are dealing with question marks, I think Jacobs, because he's injured, it creates a little bit of a buy opportunity for him moving forward. So I would be happy to buy Josh Jacobs.
Yep. I love that call. All these guys are highlighted, Jesse, because they're all on my one redraft team. So I'm very happy with these highlighted guys as well. But yeah, if we look at Josh Jacobs at number 10, Minnesota this week, it is week 12, I believe.
Yes.
Yep. We're week 12 here. So Minnesota, not a bad matchup. They've been a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde defense, but certainly you can beat them on the ground. Then you got at Detroit. Again, they've been hit or miss, but they have some issues. The problem with Detroit is you can beat them over the top through the secondary, who's incredibly injured. But Green Bay can't do that. Outside of Christian Watson, once Tucker Kraft went down, it's looking rough for them. Romeo Doubs even kind of vaporized without Tucker Kraft there. And so now you got Chicago, Denver, Chicago, and Baltimore again through week 17. It's a really good matchup. I agree with you. And Green Bay, for some reason, cannot seem to figure out their passing game, which is my biggest issue here. What do you think happens with Josh Jacobs and his injury? Is Emmanuel Wilson going to work more in at some point? Will we ever see Marshawn Lloyd on a football field again? Is Chris Brooks a factor like some people have you believe? How do you think this shakes out rest of the season with Jacobs' injury, I guess?
Yeah, we've seen Emmanuel Wilson. He's kind of solidified himself as their RB2 there in that offense. And the times they wanted to use him in default to that. And times when Jacobs has been injured, even last year, Emmanuel Wilson has had the leg up. Marshawn Lloyd just can't get on the field. So as much as I like Marshawn Lloyd, he's an explosive player. The guy can't stay healthy. So it's really hard for that coaching staff to trust a guy that is never on the field and playing right. So if you want to like roster him in case this injury lingers more for Jacobs, but that Jacobs is one of the toughest running backs in the NFL. He's played through significant injuries. So even if he is hampered in this game, and as long as he can get on the field, he's going to play. Like he's just a dog. That's what Josh Jacobs does. And he'll probably get 20-plus touches in this game. And if you see, he's only had one game under 10 fantasy points in the season, and that was last week when he was dealing with the injury. For every other game, it's been like at least 11 fantasy points per game. So he gives you a high floor each and every week. Even against like Detroit, week 1, he had a touchdown in that game. So I think there is ways for Josh Jacobs to pay off even dealing with this injury. It's just we're more chasing the floor with him than we are the ceiling, if that makes sense. But if you're desperate for him for like a mid-level RB1 or like a high-end RB2 in the roster, like I think he's perfect for him.
Yeah, I like that a lot, especially right now with the injury and what people are thinking. That's a guy you can get. I'm looking down at Chase Brown, one of these highlighted guys who I went out and bought a couple of weeks ago before the breakout. Yeah, he's got let's see. Where are we? Yeah, he's got New England this week. That's not great, but look at the rest of the schedule. Baltimore, Buffalo, Baltimore, Miami. Now, all of those defenses were horrible to start the year, and they've all gotten a little bit better. But yeah, it's not that good. It's not so good that Chase Brown, especially with Joe Burrow potentially coming back, and checking down like an absolute animal. It doesn't really matter for Chase Brown. It's Burrow or Flacco. Who cares? Chase Brown is still going to get his. I like him and his run out for rest of season schedule. But there are some cheaper guys here. I'll throw out a couple of names. You can go get Kareem Hunt. I know Isaiah Pacheco will come back at some point, but he's interesting. And then some bargain basement guys. I don't know how far I can scroll here on Fantasy Pros, but we got Ramondre Stevenson back this week. He's got the same schedule as Travion Henderson, but he might lead in. Look at this schedule, Jesse. So juicy. Starting with Cincy, the Giants. They got their bye, of course, Buffalo, Baltimore, and then the Jets to round it out. And Chris Rodriguez right next to him, again on bye this week. But you see here the schedule. Which one of those two guys in like a sneaky bye do you think you would go out and grab?
I think Ramondre, depending on how the Patriots feel about him, it's very interesting because I could see like 5 different ways this plays out for him, right?
Yeah.
He comes back, they feel like trust him, they just give him the role he had previously, even though the Travion breakout is happening right in front of our face.
Yeah,
coaches like to be
Patriots.
Right, exactly. So we'll see. We'll see. You know better than I do with the Patriots, that you're a Patriots fan. But yeah, like I think he's really interesting. Looking at like Mason, he's more of just a handcuff. Like it's basically an injury situation. I think Rodriguez can kind of do similar things to you, but the problem is he's not a pass catcher, and you're going up against Denver, Minnesota guys that are like stout up front.
Fair.
Like that kind of worries me. So if we could push this out towards the end of the season when we get like Dallas right there and mix in Philly, like that one makes a little bit more sense. So I don't mind buying in. But yeah, like he's super cheap, right? So if you just need dirt cheap production, he's totally fine. And then I would say the guy on the top of the list that's barely there, Bashal Tutin, who I know he's dealing with an ankle injury. He was starting to earn a lot more work. So he is playing, which is nice to see. I'm curious to see how much work he's going to get in this game based off the injury from last week, right? Because the breakout was happening, like he was cutting into Etienne's workload even more. So he's not going to be a full-on like take over the job thing, but like he's going to make life harder on Etienne. So it's just if you need dirt cheap points, I think those type of guys are the ones you could target because like that's all we need. We're just chasing 10 points with those guys, right? So if they give you 10, I think that's a win.
100%. The Jags are being chased in the standings by the Texans, but they're still in second place in the South at 6-4, and they won their last game. If the playoffs started today, I think the Jags would be in. I think they'd have that.
7.
It looks like they're 6th or 7th seed.
I think so, yeah.
What
a time to be alive.
World. Crazy. Scott saying the Ramondre effect is going to be down by goal line situations. And that's what I think. I think that's why you can flex him in these good matchups because he is likeliest to score a touchdown of the two guys. We saw Travion at the goal line. It wasn't pretty. He looks great. But most of his electric runs were of the massive yardage variety, taking it to the house. He can still do that, but the Patriots need to listen. This is the model in the NFL that has been happening this year on a few teams. It should play out more so on other teams, but they need 2 good backs to do it. I'm not calling Ramondre Stevenson a good back, by the way, but if we look at Jesse's team, you got the Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet situation. We've got this in a couple other spots around the league. We have a great back. And then that back is getting vultured at the goal line by the bigger back or the spell back even, right? Because I don't think Algier is massively bigger than Bijan, but he is spelling Bijan and getting that work and nuking the elite upside of some of these guys. But yeah, I think that Ramondre can absolutely do that, but it also means that you can flex him in good matchups like there is this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Like to your point, I think the Bijan stuff has been really frustrating seeing that considering Bijan's one of the best running backs in the NFL. They either want to keep his workload limited, which makes sense, but like when you draft a running back as high as you do with him, you're basically incentivized to play the guy a crap ton, right? To get it out of him. Yeah. So the thing is like Algier is just good. Like I don't think anyone will argue with that. Like he's a good running back. But yeah, like why lean on Bijan in those situations when they're winning by a lot or down the goal line? You could just give it to Algier, who's the bigger back, the plotter, the guy that could just break through. So like I 100% get it. It's frustrating, but yeah, it makes sense. Same thing with Ramondre. Ramondre is a tank. Ramondre is what, like 235? Like he's a big boy. So yeah, he could absolutely play that role alongside. And I mean, if he's doing that, that means Trayvon's the lead back, and I'm okay with that. Like I will happily take that. I don't want to deal with that Trayvon on the bench anymore.
I feel that. No, we're starting Travion in fantasy. Is
Yes.
Travion the starting running back in New England? That
Mhm.
remains to be seen. But you can start both of those guys this week against
Yes.
Cincinnati, giving up the most fantasy points to running backs. Go ahead, fire them both up. I don't care that Ramondre is coming off of a multi-week absence. Is it multi-week
Yeah,
absence?
I think it's 2.
Yeah. So, hey, who cares? Fire them up. We love it. Jesse, let's move to quarterback here. I'm going to pull it up on the big screen. Who do you like at the QB position as a buy, given their schedule and what you expect to happen the rest of the season?
Well, besides the guy you have highlighted, Drake May, I also really like Jackson Dart. And if you see his schedule down there, I get it. He's not playing this week. So, like, just have caution. They're doing the concussion thing. It's totally fine. When he comes back, that offense just dramatically increases to another level. We saw Jameis Winston and kind of the issues within that quarterback and how he doesn't have the get out of jail free card that Dart has. And basically, Dart's just more accurate, anyways, too, on top of it. I think he's carrying that offense to a point where he was also number 1 in rushing attempts among like design rushes as well, too. So Jackson Dart gives you fancy production every which way on that offense. It entirely runs through him. I know they changed coaching staffs with Dayball, but it's not like they're just going to put Dart back in the box and be like, you know what? We're not going to unleash him. They're still trying to win. So I think Dart's a really good one. I like him a lot. But there's a lot of quarterbacks actually in this range in the schedules. Like we talk about Baker's matchups moving forward, they're pretty solid for the most part. And he's getting Chris Godwin back this week. So I think it makes Baker a little bit more interesting because Godwin's going to elevate that offense, even though he might not be the same guy he was. Still better than Tez Johnson. He's better than those guys, right? So I think adding him along Egbuka, you free Egbuka up a little bit. Sucks for Kate Otten, but I don't think we really care too much about Kate Otten. So it just is what it is, right? So I think that's some good ones. Who are you looking at a quarterback like specifically? Who's the guy that stands out to you that you want to get?
Brock Purdy's a really good one. You see a schedule right here. Back healthy and dealing, and he should have a healthy Ricky Pearsall, I guess, at this point. He has a healthy CMC. George Kittle is back and balling. And then, a healthy-ish Juwan Jennings and Kendrick Bourne. I mean, this offense is finally getting all of their pieces back. It'll be interesting to see. But with the elite run game and a crappy defense all of a sudden after the last 3-4 weeks of injuries here in San Francisco, it's looking like a great run out for him. You see, he's got the bye in week 14, but after that, in the fantasy playoffs, Tennessee, Indy, Chicago, holy crap. That may be the best 3 stretch run of schedule outside of Baker Mayfield, who you did highlight just there. You can see both of those guys, and these guys are attainable. That's the thing in single quarterback leagues. I mean, over that 3-week stretch, you could be looking at a top 4, top 5 quarterback asset, and you can have them for less. So that's a really interesting one. A couple other names. Lamar is the hot name in fantasy circles. You can see it here. Not only is the schedule beautiful, but of course, because Cincinnati twice, but of course, they also have to win pretty much every game to make the playoffs from here on out. People think that means that Lamar is going to go nuclear. I don't know. It could be a little bit safer simply because that defense is coming on, simply because it could be Derrick Henry's season. So I'm not aggressively going after Lamar, but who doesn't want Lamar Jackson on their fantasy team? So I'm not arguing with you. But the cost to acquire him could be an issue. The cost to acquire this guy is cheap as heck. This is Jacoby Brissett. Playing Jacksonville this week. You see how he ends it up. Houston's not good of a matchup for him, but then his offensive line is good though. And then versus Atlanta, that team is falling apart. Talk about Raheem Morris possibly being fired, maybe at the end of the season, maybe earlier. And then the Cincinnati Bengals in week 17, it doesn't get much better for that. So Jacoby Brissett can kind of help to keep a level tied for your fantasy team, and then with the potential to go nuclear in the playoffs for you. So I really like him as a low-key buy as well. And Jared Goff is interesting too, but you got to go get him right now because he's going to blow up against the Giants most likely. And then you see Dallas in there, Pittsburgh, Minnesota. That's a good one as well.
Yeah, I like all those. I think there's good buys at cost. There's one guy who is not brought up who actually has a pretty decent schedule moving forward. It's gross. It's Tua Tagovailoa. I know the name is
Oh, I
disgusting.
know.
Yeah, but I will say if you're in this bargain bin basement shopping, there are some really good matchups in here. Like Pittsburgh's defense can outside the pass. Cincinnati is abysmal. Thankfully they play New England on week 18, so that game does not count, which you're not gonna really get bombarded. And Tampa Bay, I know like it doesn't seem like it's the best matchup. You can still pass against Tampa Bay. Like you can get that done. So I think if you're in this range, we're talking about like Mariota's. I'm not doing Rodgers because of the broken wrist thing, but like this range of quarterback, right? Like you could do worse than those guys because we're bargain basement shopping. We're not expecting to get a guy that's gonna be like a top 5 quarterback. Just someone that we can stream each and every week. I think Tua gives you that alongside like Mariota, Jacoby Brissett. Those guys are all solid buys for your teams.
Totally agree with you. I'd go a little bit higher here and just say Sam Darnold coming off of a bad week. Look at all of those stars in his schedule. Absolutely nuts. You know, he's got JSN. He's got the 2 tight ends. He's got some combination of Torrey Horton, Rashid Shaheed being more integrated. Those 2 backs doing what those 2 backs do. I really like Sam Darnold down the stretch too. So a lot of different options depending on how much you want to pay up. But get a guy who can run a little bit or has the potential to throw 5 touchdowns in a game. And I think we highlighted most of those guys.
I like it
for you. Trone, what is up? Thanks for joining in once again, my man. With Dart out this week, you had Flacco as a backup. Flacco is playing. Joe Burrow has not been activated today from IR. So I believe the deadline has passed. So it should be Joe Flacco. So just keep that in mind. But you dropped Love because you didn't want to wait on the Burrow news. Who would you start this week? Love in Minnesota, Lawrence. So sorry, I assume that's a home game, but I don't know. Love against Minnesota, Trevor Lawrence against Arizona, or Jameis against the Lions, Shuck against the Falcons. Who do you like of those group?
I mean, you almost have to default to Love here. I don't feel great about any of this group of players. I will just say that moving forward.
Agree.
What's interesting is like the Minnesota pass defense has been susceptible, and Love can go nuclear for 4 passing touchdowns, or he can bottom out each and every week. It's kind of an interesting thing. And I think if Jacobs does not play, it's going to force them to be more pass-centric in this game.
Fair.
So if Jacobs does not play, I like Love a little bit more. I'll boost them up in rankings. But right now, I have him right next to like Darnold and Flacco and those guys in that like mid QB2 range. So I think Love's the best option out of that group. Who's the top guy for you?
Yeah, I hate playing Jordan Love, but I get it. I probably go Trevor Lawrence just because I have such a bad taste of Jordan Love in my mouth at this moment, which sounds wrong, but also feels wrong to put him in my lineup. So, but Tyler Shuck is kind of the name I think that people will be tempted to play. I'm interested to figure this out. We got 2 things going on with the Falcons. First of all, Divine Diablo is back. He's been out for months at this point. The fact that he's back this week, it was a totally different defense with him in the middle of that defense, kind of manning the ship and like defending against the intermediate pass, covering, the tight end and guys around the slot and playing a good zone. And he's a great tackler. But Billy Bowman was also in that defense as well. Billy Bowman back last week. He's out this week covering the slot. So that's really interesting because the Falcons, we know, are an absolute dumpster fire. So it's possible that Tyler Shuck is able to manipulate the middle of that field a little bit, even with Divine Diablo back. That said, I'll still go Trevor Lawrence just because I can't bring myself to start Jordan Love in a divisional matchup. But yeah, that's a rough one. Play Flacco. Here's what you do. You had Flacco. Oh, you dropped Flacco for Love. Go back and get Flacco. Go get Flacco. That's really the answer.
Good stuff. I like that. That's yeah, it's tough. I am worried about this point scoring in the Falcons Saints game. It could be very low scoring game. Like the over under is 40 points in this game. I don't think people realize how bad the only game worse is the Browns Raiders. And let's be real, that's because it's the Browns Raiders. So I think it's going to be hard for either one of those offenses to go off, particularly because Kirk Cousins just is not an NFL quality quarterback at this point in time. And Shug has so much good size. He has a little bit of rushing, so he has that going for him. But yeah, my expectations are unfortunately lowered for him this week, just based on that.
I get it. I mean, Carolina's been a decent defense. He was the QB 12 against them 2 weeks ago. They had the bye. He's got 2 weeks to prepare for Atlanta, Jesse.
Hope so.
Yeah, I'll still go Trevor Lawrence. Let's switch to running back. Jesse, who do you like at the RB position? in terms of rest of season schedule. Oh, sorry. No, we did running back. Let's do
Yeah.
wide receivers. Talk to me. Who do you like?
I mean, obviously, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown of the elite guys. I think he's awesome.
Mhm.
I think Jalen Waddle's another one. We could talk about him. I know we're going to talk about Justin Jefferson.
Yes, sir.
Kind of how Justin Jefferson's kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like mirage. People are buying into him, expecting one thing. More than likely going to get another. So as good as the schedule is for him, I wouldn't. But for Jalen Waddle, I will just say, like, there's no target competition. We've already talked about how Tua has good matchups upcoming. Who do we think that's going to help out? Obviously, Devon Achane. Devon Achane is like the central point of that offense. And then it's freaking Jalen Waddle. He's been really good. I know he had one bad game recently, so people probably have a bad taste in their mouth. You just have to go back and trust the process with Jalen Waddle. More than likely, you're going to see close to 10 targets in this game, push 100 yards. Like I think he's a really good buy if you can get him. And he doesn't cost near as much as like the Amon-Ra. Like he's way discounted as far as price goes. So for discount diving, and I mean, we can talk about your guy, Jameis Williams, coming up too and how awesome he's been. But for me, I think if we're talking about the Devonta Smiths of the world, those type of players, maybe Romo Dunze, throw him in there too. I would just rather buy Jalen Waddle because I'm more assured of what I'm getting out of him moving forward towards the rest of the season because he's been really good. He was basically a top 12 wide receiver before last week, and he dropped out a little bit. But yeah, he's been that. So yeah, I like Jalen Waddle a lot moving forward.
Yep. 100%. What is it? 5 touchdowns on the season as well. So I believe he might be approaching his career high if he hasn't already broken it in the touchdown department, which is good because he's getting those long bomb touchdowns. But listen to this, since week 5, Jesse, here's his yardage totals: 110, 95, 15, 99, 82, 84, and 52 in that bust week last week, week 11 rather, when we were expecting him to go off against Washington. That didn't happen, but this is a team that wants to win as well. I don't think they're mathematically eliminated. That might be a stretch there, but you see the schedule ahead of them: New Orleans, winnable; Jets, certainly winnable; Pittsburgh, we'll see with Aaron Rodgers, winnable; Cincy, they may be out of it at that point, winnable. So this team has a chance to really push the script and go all in to try and win here. And I think Jalen Waddle is the type of guy. I did buy him in one league as well about 2 weeks ago, and I paid up a little bit, but hey, you got to do what you got to do, and the schedule is beautiful. So love that call. I'm going to go for a little bit of homerism, and I'm going to talk about my guy, and you can see he's highlighted because he's on my team, Steph Diggs. Diggs, look at that schedule. It's juicy. It's beautiful. You got the Cincinnati this week. We don't like him potentially facing DJ Turner, but I think DJ Turner is been very good, but he's locked down mediocre elite wide receivers, and I'm not sure that even at his advanced age that I would call Steph Diggs mediocre. He's got a broken finger. He's been going off despite it and still playing through it, and now I expect him to have a pretty good game at Cincy, but after that, ignore the bias: the Giants, Buffalo, Baltimore, the New York Jets. I think Steph Diggs eats. I think he's one of the kind of best buys that you can go after right now. Other names I have are Wan'Dale, Ricky Pearsall. Before we talk about Jefferson, how do you feel about those 3 guys? Diggs, Wan'Dale, Pearsall.
Yeah, I really like Diggs. Diggs is a good call. The last 2 weeks, he's been above 80% snap share. He was below that the majority of the season. I think he had 1 week above 80. But what that does is that solidifies the issue of him just not getting enough looks and routes ran. So, like, his target rate is 27%. It's like top 14 in the NFL. It's really high. The fact he's running all of the routes now, that basically solidifies the floor with him each every week. And we saw last week how he popped off, right? So, basically, all my concerns about Diggs moving forward have been squashed. I think Diggs is a great buy, particularly in contending teams in Dynasty. But in redraft, I think people like Diggs, but they're not fully, like, all in on Diggs. So, like, now is a good time to kind of pounce on him if you can.
Agree. 100%. You see Ricky Pearsall's schedule here, who I mentioned. They should get it together. He should be healthy. We know that whatever's going on with Brandon Ayuk is not good for Brandon Ayuk. His future is not, he's not long for San Francisco here. So I think Ricky Pearsall is interesting. Go ahead and see what you have, especially potentially in a lost season for San Francisco with how bad the defense is. Why not just, feed Pearsall and get him ready for next season? So we'll see if that happens. Another name on this list that's interesting is this guy up top, DK Metcalf. Just look at the stars on the schedule. The question is Aaron Rodgers. Now, I heard a take. I don't know if you believe it, Jesse, but I didn't. That maybe Mason Rudolph is better for DK Metcalf than Aaron Rodgers. Are you buying that?
Yeah, so the whole thing with Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't want to get touched. Like, he does not want to get hit. So his time to throw is insanely low. He's basically just there's all these dinks and dunks. So what sucks for DK is they're not using him downfield. That's like kind of where DK specializes in, right? So yeah, I would actually like to see not Aaron Rodgers throw to DK Metcalf and see how that goes. Maybe we can get some Nico Collins type love where we got from Davis Mills the first couple of weeks, like something along those lines. Yeah, this Pittsburgh team's just not good. Like it's just unfortunate is what it is, right? Maybe we finally get the 500 season out of here again, and we don't have to talk about that anymore with Tomlin, right? So yeah. I would actually be okay seeing that just because they're not maximizing DK Metcalf's skill set to the most part, like what he specializes in. So there's no competition. But yeah, that schedule's so juicy. But yeah, when I saw his name on the list, and I was like, I can't do it with Rodgers. I just can't do it with Metcalf. So
I agree.
It's rough.
I got DK with a question mark next to it because I'm not sure. But I'll tell you this. If you haven't seen it yet, Chicago is down their top 3 inside linebackers in this game. I think they do whatever the hell they want over the middle in this game. I don't care who's at quarterback. I think the Jalen Warren season, and I think that can help the run game can help to open up DK on the outside, possibly running a couple of slants. And taking one to the house, old school DK Metcalf. Let's go.
Right. I would love that. Yeah. Like the thing is like that I'm talking about DK, his ADOT is 10.8. That's the lowest of his career by over a yard and a half. Like this is the thing that's just frustrating watching it. So yeah, you see this play on real time and you're like, it's all there. It should work out. And it's just Aaron Rodgers doing Aaron Rodgers things at this point. I don't know what else to say, man. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. We'll say that.
I hear you. Romeo Doubs should be a buy, although he's disappeared. Jesse, I know you were buying Romeo Doubs like just before the Tucker Kraft fall off here. What do you think about Doubs rest of the season? Are you still happy with your shares, or are you concerned now?
Well, the injury is what sucked. And that really put a damper on what should have been a really good game. Again, it kind of just didn't work out. Last week against the Giants, he still had 8 targets. I'm okay with the process of still buying Doubs because he's not like expensive at all. Like the targets are still there. I still think him, Christian Watson kind of work together where Christian Watson's doing the downfield stuff. Dobbs is intermediate over the field. Dobbs is kind of like a discount version of Michael Pittman with the Colts. Like that's kind of what you're aiming for with Dobbs, I think. I mean, he's doing a lot of that. I know we used to call him a sacrificial X. He's better than that. So I'm okay still buying Dobbs. I think people probably soured a little bit more now to the point where you can get him basically for like if we talk about Tootin, I would do that. Like, sure, I'll take the shot on that and roll. So I like still buying Dobbs. Will it burn me in the face? It entirely could. Like he's not that great of a wide receiver, right? So it's there. But the matchups are good enough where I'm fine buying Dobbs and see how that goes. Particularly Detroit, Chicago. The Denver game's gonna be tough. Like we'll just do that. Outside of that, Chicago, Baltimore to round it out, like that's really good matchups. 4 out of 5.
100%. The last guy we got to talk about at wide receiver. I want to talk about this guy because he's about to go nuclear this week and forever. But I'm not going to do it, Jesse, because we have to talk about this guy, Justin Jefferson, with a juicy schedule upcoming. But I think 9 should rebrand as 6-7 because he's been awful behind center. JJ McCarthy, what the hell are you doing? Is Justin Jefferson a buy for you? Look at that schedule.
I mean, he should be, right? My whole thought process with like selling Justin Jefferson is like I wanted to move him into other elite assets if I can do that. I didn't want to like tear down to we're talking about like below Higgins and those guys. Like I feel like that's just kind of just like whatever with Jefferson. Yeah, like if you can get him for the right price, sure. But the cost on Jefferson and the name cachet still attached to him, even though I think this week they posted like on Fantasy Pros or one of the websites, Underdog, his expected yards betting line was 69, which is the lowest they've ever listed for him in his career. Unreal. Which shows you how bad JJ McCarthy has been. He's been awful. If you look at EPA and stuff from quarterbacks, like JJ McCarthy is bottom of the league, and he's also top of the league of holding the ball. Like he's almost 3 seconds. I think there's only one quarterback ahead of him because he's doing all the things and he's trying to make plays. It's just not going well for him. So the thought process there, like him and Addison should smash. Like they should be really good plays.
They should.
They're not good. Like this is the worst thing DK Metcalf we talked about with Rodgers. It's an also a quarterback issue, which shows you even the great Justin Jefferson is not immune from horrible quarterback play. It can still hurt him. So
100%.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I would rather buy Jefferson than sell him because I still think you can move him into really good pieces personally.
Yeah, 100%. I had somebody asking me in the chat the other day over on TikTok, should I sell Tet off of his good game and Devontae Adams for Justin Jefferson. And I was like, hell no, right? Like, listen, we love Justin Jefferson, but there's a limit here. And in fact, most of the questions were, should I send this? Should I send these two, Chase Brown and like Derrick Henry, to go get Justin Jefferson? It's like, no, because we don't know what Justin Jefferson we're getting, but we do. Since the bye, you gave us the stats, but let me give you the raw numbers here. His target totals since the bye, so bye week 6, so 7 to 11 is, here's his target totals in per game: 10, 11, 9, 12, 9. Here's what he finished in full PPR leagues in the wide receiver position: 27, 20, 18, 42, 26. Never a wide receiver 1, a wide receiver 2 just twice in 5 games, with those target totals still being Justin Jefferson. But you see him out there leaping 15 feet into the air, contorting his body and barely getting a finger on these overthrows from JJ McCarthy. It's upsetting. Look, I think JJ McCarthy will be okay long term, but we're not in the long term. We're trying to win this season.
Right.
You can't go get Justin Jefferson, especially for elite assets right now.
Yeah, what's brutal is if you're into like statistics and metrics, like there's so much supporting Justin Jefferson right now. 30% target share, 41% air yards, and then there's the whole unrealized air yards. He's third in the NFL in unrealized air yards, which shows you the really big issue. And a lot of those are probably prayer yards coming from JJ McCarthy right now. So it's just, yeah, it hurts. I'd much rather buy just Jefferson in Dynasty and do that and just deal with the stuff for this season, right? Absolutely. But like in redraft, like I'm just
you can't.
Man, I'm good. I'm good. It sucks.
Last question on Jefferson: how many touchdowns do you think he has this season? If you do not know,
it's brutal. It's like it's single digits and it's like less than 5. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. It's like 2 or something. Yeah, it's awful. It's so bad. It's just so bad. Like it's just
touchdowns.
Yeah, unreal. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate.
Absolutely unreal. But anyway, that is enough of the Justin Jefferson slander. We love the man. We don't hate the game. We hate the players here.
Yes,
we don't hate the players as much as we hate their production. Can I even find the button to get Jesse in here? My StreamYard is just so messed up at the moment. Let's see. Hang on. 1. Hey, we got it back to all right.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. A couple of questions before we get into our tight ends and then get out of here. Trone says somebody dropped Bo Nix. Dropped my second defense, the Packers D, and picked up Nix. Nix is so he's on bye, right? So that is why he has been dropped. But the question is, how do you feel about Nick's rest of season? And he took to back up Dart. So, yeah, if Dart's playing, you're playing Dart over Nix for sure, pretty much every single game. We just went over his schedule. What do you think about Bo Nix? Is he he's a QB5 right now in standard scoring leagues. His schedule is Washington, then Vegas, then Green Bay. You got to run on Green Bay, but then Jacksonville and then Kansas City to round out. It's not bad. What do you think?
Like I'd pick him up. I'd absolutely pick him. If you're like streaming quarterbacks or dealing with this and you're dealing with the Dart issue, I would just take Bo Nix because we know like it's going to happen at some point where Flacco gets replaced by Joe Burrow. I don't know which week it's going to be, but it's happening, right? Like they're going to bring him back unless they just completely fall out of the playoff picture. Could happen, right? And then they're like screwed. But yeah, I pick up Bo Nix. It's just don't watch the games with Bo Nix. I'll say that. Like it's ugly watching him play quarterback. But he scores points. He scores points. So Sean Payton knows how to get him points. So yeah, I'd pick him up. I think he's worth it, at least being on a roster. I'll say that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And if I'm looking quickly at Jackson Dart's schedule, I won't bring it up to save us time. But let's see. Jackson Dart. Is he that high? Okay, we're good. So let's see. What are we week? Oh, all right. Now I got to scroll. This is great podcasting right here. So he's not playing in week 12 Detroit at New England. So you want somebody for week 13. Well, Bo Nix is playing Washington. So that's a pretty good matchup. And Dart might not even play that game because it's the week before their bye. So you got Bo Nix week 13 at Washington. You got a bye for Dart in week 14. So you got Bo Nix against Vegas in week 14. I like that matchup. That's pretty good as well. And then week 15, Jackson Dart's against Washington. Week 16, he's got Minnesota. And then week 17, you got Vegas. So it looks like Nix will play for you in weeks 13 and 14. It seems like you need to figure out what's happening in week 12 here. But you got Nix week 13 and 14, then drop his ass. And then you can play Dart rest of season. Yeah, Jesse, you have to be a homer on this show. So Seattle takes are welcome, but we want to hear more about the Patriots. Is Jarquez Hunter available from my guy, Ryan Prosick? No, he's not. I mean, yeah, sure. I don't care. He is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a big booty from Ryan as he is rebuilding and I'm on a playoff run. I just need somebody to flex in these last few bye weeks here. We'll see. Ryan also says, need to drop Jackson Dart or Joe Burrow in redraft.
Just drop Burrow. I would.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I would drop Burrow. Like we know Dart's playing. We don't know when Burrow's coming back. Like I think is my whole thing with that. And Dart's been really good also. So
yes,
you can do Burrow if you want. I saw somebody pick him up in one of my home leagues, and I was like, dude, you have a top 10 quarterback. Why are you picking up Burrow right now? Are you going to play him? But yeah, like I don't mind Burrow. Like I think he's good. You're talking to like the world's biggest Jackson Dart fan here. So like take my stuff with a grain of salt.
I would say drop somebody else. Find your Jarquez Hunter on your bench and drop the hell out of that guy. Yeah, that's the one to drop. Starting Olave at wide receiver and Devontae at the flex. You have to play Jaylen Warren over Devonta Smith. I know they're playing Dallas. Jaylen Warren going up against Chicago. They're down all three of their middle linebackers. I know it could go a little bit south with the offenses here. I'm a little worried about this Philly offense, though. The Dallas is not this insanely beatable defense. All of a sudden, over the last 2 weeks here, the trade deadline brought in one elite player in Quinnen Williams. You got Logan Wilson, who's definitely an average to slightly above average middle linebacker from Cincy. He is there now, who was a huge upgrade over what they had. And Demarion Overshawn came back from injury. I believe they got another guy back from injury last week off their offensive line, on the defensive line. They've been much better. Now, are they good defense? No. But I think they're not necessarily this pushover defense that we saw earlier in the season. Philly can still score on them. That's not the issue here. I'm just worried about Devonta because he disappears a ton versus Jaylen Warren, who's your steadier, safer production against the Bears. I'm not scared of that at all. I want to go Jaylen Warren this week, but would you start Devonta Smith versus Dallas over Jaylen?
I personally would, because what we saw before the injury, Kenneth Gainwell had basically cut the snaps basically to a timeshare with 50-50 split. So
very true.
I don't know what's going on in Pittsburgh. If they want to see Kenneth Gainwell for whatever particular reason they like him, I don't know. And I don't know if that was a matchup thing in particular, but like Warren had seen a hefty snap share, all the usage. So I'm a little bit lower on Warren this week. I think he'll probably get it back. I just don't know the week coming off of an injury, like how limited he's going to be. So I'm a little bit lower on it, but I think you can play both of these guys, to tell you the truth. Like,
yeah,
I'd be fine playing all of them. I think that's a good point.
Good point. The last 3 weeks, because I'll cheat and include the bye, Devonta Smith has 5 receptions for 77 yards. He does have a touchdown in there. Wide receiver 94 last week against Detroit. Wide receiver 94. You want to play the wide receiver 94, Jesse? Go right ahead.
Put it like that. Oh, God, it's rough. It's so rough with the Eagles, man. It's so rough.
It really is. And that's my issue. I think Jaylen Warren gives you safer production, but the Kenny Gainwell stuff is definitely a concern. Pick up the Jags defense this week. Titans. Oh, they get the Titans next week. So that's a sneaky grab for defense for you. Pick Caleb back up. Yeah, that defense is getting worse. Caleb Williams has a safer floor. Will he be able to hit his receivers and actually operate a functional offense? That's the question. I think Brian Flores gives him fits this week. Is it Flores? No.
Chicago playing Miami. They are playing. Let's look up. I love our podcasting on the fly here. They are playing Pittsburgh this week.
Oh, so it's not Flores. Tom. So who is the? I don't even know who the DC is. Forget it. Just go ahead and play Caleb Williams this week. You'll be fine. But it's all good. Ryan's going to send his roster in the Discord. If you want to send your roster in the Discord, just go to our Twitter account, Fantasy Football Universe. There's a link tree. Click the link tree. Click the invite link. Jump in the Discord. Ask any and all questions any and every time of day during the week. That works out. Jesse, we're going to wrap things up here with the tight end position. Why don't you give us your tight end to buy here, given his schedule, as I pull up the picture here.
All right, I will say just keep it simple at tight end. Don't get crazy at tight end. Don't be like, oh, I want Noah Fant. No, stop. Let's not do the stupid stuff, tight end. Go for the elite guys. His name is Tyler Warren. He's got a really good schedule. He's an awesome player. It's just that simple. The schedule's good for him. Everything's working on his favor. And then I will say the other guy, if you really want to do it and down a little bit, is Dallas Goedert. Like, you could talk yourself into Dallas Goedert. For some reason, he's the one guy in that offense you can trust. I don't know why it is with the Eagles. But for me, if I'm not buying Warren as the elite price guys and I'm going down a little bit cheaper, I would just do Warren. I don't want to be in the streaming Kate Otten, Hunter Henry tier of Gerald Fannin. It's so rough each and every one of those guys. You could do it if you have a bunch of them and you play it and you do it right, but it's harder than people realize to do that. So I'm just gonna go with the elite guy, Tyler Warren, ride the production to a fancy championship. That's what we're doing with Tyler Warren here. We're gonna keep it simple and go do that. So that's what I like to buy Tyler Warren.
Yeah, it's Tyler Warren. I love it. You look at the schedule. You don't love Houston, but you look at everything else. Of course, Khalil Shakir just went nuclear in Houston, though, in the middle of the field. So just keep that in mind. You got KC, you got Jacksonville, you got Seattle, all these teams giving it up to the tight end. And you see Goddard's schedule here, just so many stars for how good of a matchup that is. Jesse, let's just slowly move down one to Kyle Pitts.
Oh, yeah.
Only game in town, Drake London. Who knows how long he's going to be out? Kirk Cousins going to need a safety blanket. Some people seem to think that's going to be Darnell Mooney like it was last year. I don't think so. I think Kyle Pitts has a good run out, but the name that I want to buy instead is Mark Andrews. We saw what the man can do. Absolutely 360ing a 31-yard run to the house. Ridiculous stuff from Mark Andrews. So I like him as well. And then some other names here. Of course, you got Travis Kelce sitting pretty. I think the cat's out of the bag with that one, though. He's going to be a little bit more boom bust for you because Rashee Rice, but he's also going to be pricey on contenders. Sneaky one, Brenton Strange, who's due back any day now. Brenton Strange was killing it. It's even on this list. Probably not. Who's the other guy who was in...
it's Hunter Long's the other guy.
Here he is. Brenton Strange. Look at the schedule. Arizona this week. I don't think he's playing, but then Tennessee, Indy, the Jets, Denver, and then Indy again to wrap it up. I really like his schedule. He's a sneaky, bottom of your bench stash kind of guy who might still be on your redraft waivers. Go ahead and take a look. Brenton Strange, definitely worth it, especially if you got an IR spot. You can stash him. He was crushing at the beginning of the season, so I like him a lot.
Yeah, wait. We're gonna get by 4 p.m. is when they officially have to add them. So we have 13 minutes.
Okay.
They have not added them yet to the active roster, so we will say so. If they do add them in the next 13 minutes, then you can grab Strange. I think that's a solid under the radar buy that most people are not going to care about. But you look at those matchups; they are good. He should produce if he's on the field.
Yep, 100%. And I think that's about it. I'm going to roll over to TikTok. Jesse may or may not be coming with me. Coming with me, Jesse? May or may not. Well, let's go. So we're going over to TikTok here at the top of the hour in about 12 minutes. It gets really crazy over there with the questions, but we'll be talking a little bit about these guys. We'll be answering any and every question that we can over there. You can join us over there. And if you do want to join us over there, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Technology. Our own Jesse Moeller has hooked this up. Just scan the QR code with your phone. You can get over there on the TikTok right now. We are the Fantasy Football Universe over there. That's where we're gonna be. So we appreciate you guys joining us. Ryan, do not send us your roster in the Discord. I don't want to see how bad it is.
Just put it in my roster's boo-boo category.
Do it if you want. I'm going to block Ryan in the Discord, my co-host on Thursday ranking shows, simply because I don't want to see this roster. Jesse, any final thoughts for the people here?
Go buy the guys you're confident in. Don't get caught being like, oh, that's too much. Or just get the guys you want that you're happy rostering. That's what this game is all about. Instead of being like, well, I'll go get, Harold Finn. And instead, no. Go get the guys we talked about. Go get those players because you want those players that are going to win. So, just keep it simple. Get the guys that are good schedules. That's how we win, folks.
Love it. Let's do it. We appreciate you joining us. For Jesse, I am Jeremy. This is the Fantasy Football Universe. We'll see you on TikTok in 10 minutes. Bye.
FFU. FFU.